Hi, everybody, and thank you for joining us on our live webinar today, December 7th, here from MIT.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, nice to be here with you today.
Yeah, we have an exciting webinar today where we'll go over information about our program as well as the admissions process, and just give you some highlights of the program here at MIT.
So maybe, yeah, my name is Maria Jesus Sáenz. I am the Executive Director of the Supply Chain Management Blended Master Program here at MIT. And also, as researcher, I am leading the research area on digital supply chain transformation.
Yeah. And my name is Robert Cummings. I support the blended program here as the academic administrator. I've been with MIT for over 7 years now, so I'm excited to welcome our next class of potential students.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So let's
start. Yeah.
Dive right in. Yep, so as I mentioned, here's our information and admissions webinar. So today we have a brief outline here to go over. We'll include introductions about ourselves and the program, as well as our team. Then we'll do an overview of the program, what you can expect, classes and curriculum, and then some highlights from our student experience and student life here at MIT. Finally, we'll go over career support and what you can expect from the SCM program team in terms of career support, development, services. And then finally, we'll touch upon the application and admissions process to get you started on applying to our program. And then we'll wrap it up with any questions that come up over the course of the webinar. Yeah, so I'll turn it over to Maria.
Yeah, so this is the most innovative educational initiative. We are very proud of that. Actually, President Reif, the president of MIT, some years ago, then decided to push for this kind of innovative study as a hybrid master degree. So as you know, most of you know, then the idea is behind this program is having first a MicroMaster credential by MITx, and then to have an experience on campus here at MIT, and then to finally get the MIT master degree. So we count on a very rich global network. Actually, what we call a scale global network is coming from supply chain and logistics excellence. So we are having centers of excellence, 6 actually all over the world. 3 of them are proposing this blended program from many different angles. So we have several researchers, faculties, doing several kind of research methodologies and researching different kind of topics. So the network is a very rich network of alumni that you can leverage after getting your degree with us, right? More than 1,000 students, graduates, alumni worldwide, all over the world, coming from these different centers. These are real global network as a supply chain usually is. So our program, Supply Chain Management Blended Program, is designed for learners who have successfully earned the MIT MicroMaster in Supply Chain Management. If you have not finished the MicroMaster yet, no worries. You have time for apply for our program. We will tell you what are the deadlines for this admission process. The idea of this program is to have different pathways for highly qualified non-traditional candidates. What do we mean about non-traditional candidates? So, for example, supply chain practitioners with vast experience. So then you will be able to interact with this network of executives, applicants coming from countries where the GMAT theory is not so available. Right, so the MicroMaster credential has the same effect that the GMAT and GRE is having in other contexts, in other master contexts, and applicants with undergraduate training that was not necessarily directly related to supply chain management. Right, so this is what we call the non-traditional candidates, and of course, candidates that are expected to get the degree in a shorter period of time compared with other master degrees. So what is the program structure? We will display all the details, but initially you need to get the certificate through the MicroMaster, the MITx certificate, through these 5 courses online and then the exam, then you will be eligible to apply to the MIT Blended Master in Supply Chain Management. Then during this very intensive and exciting 5 months here at MIT in campus, then you will, enrich your knowledge. You will have different experiential learning approaches in order to, yes, to culminate with MIT master degree. The same degree that what we call the residential master degree, who spent 9-10 months with us. So this is our program team. So we have a very smart, talented, and experienced team that we have been working with different master programs all over the world, here also at MIT. Actually, Robert and myself, we are here, but also we count on Dr. Josue Velázquez, who is the executive director of the SCM master program. Len, you will interact with him a lot because he is our career development and alumni relations officer here at MIT. So then he will connect you with different companies, with different recruitment opportunities. And also we have a very extensive team with postdocs, who are experts in different fields of research, different members that are specialists in different administrative process here at MIT or at the scale global network.
So yeah, now we will cover just a program overview to sort of get you up to speed with what you can expect as a part of the program. So starting off just with the timeline, as we mentioned before, the program really begins with your start in the MicroMasters program, 5 online classes with a final exam culminating in your online credential. This is really the base point, and you can take it at your own pace. Usually around a year is what you can expect. Fitting in with our timeline of admissions would start after you complete that program. So after you complete the program and apply online, you would be admitted to the program, and we would start with some pre-work, as we call it, between August and December. Because the program is so intensive with the 5 months that are on campus, you do have some commitments prior to arrival. So this will include starting your research project, working with your teammate remotely, with advisors remotely here at MIT, and really laying that groundwork of the project so that you can hit the ground running once you're here in January. We have lots of webinars and assignments to sort of get you going while you're working from home. Then is the start of the program. January is our winter semester here. MIT calls it the IAP, the Independent Activities period. So the first week will be our orientation, where you meet all of your classmates and sort of get started and familiar with MIT. Then we have a very intensive 3-week Scale Connect conference, which includes classes in Python programming, that we have specialty lectures, guest lectures, fresh connection, lots of activities to keep you engaged for those 3 weeks, where you'll be able to meet your classmates from all across the world. Over 180 to 200 students join us here at MIT during that 3-week period. Then the most exciting part that all of you would be waiting for would be the spring term here on campus at MIT. You would join all of your residential classmates, as well as over 6,000 graduate students here at MIT. You'd work on your classes, build your schedule, and really be immersed in the MIT experience from February all the way until June. Some key elements of that would be selecting your classes and electives. We have a study trek in March that would where we visit companies across the US on the West Coast or in Panama. And then you really focus in on your research project and continue to develop that and write your final capstone or thesis project. And all of that ends with your graduation here at MIT in June. And you're really at the beginning of the next phase of your career. This program really launches you into.
And it's a very exciting moment, yeah, very.
Now, in terms of degree options, we here at MIT offer 2 types of degrees: the Master of Applied Science in Supply Chain Management and the Master of Engineering. All applicants to the program are considered eligible for the Master of Applied Science. This is sort of designed for most people who are interested in our program. It really takes, it helps you develop a relationship with companies and industries to develop a project that will help the company or our researchers here who also sponsor projects. The other additional research-focused degree we have is in the Masters of Engineering. This is more selective and requires further development of an original research idea proposed by you. It is more intense, requires more of a time commitment. You work independently with an advisor, and this can lead to further opportunities in research. So it's another degree option for those who are interested. Now, in terms of curriculum, we offer a plethora of classes here to sort of advance your knowledge in supply chain, but also allow you the flexibility to explore other avenues that MIT has to offer. With over 50 departments here at MIT offering different subjects, you have the ability to add some customization to your classes. So starting with the MicroMasters, as you mentioned, you would get on-campus credit for the completion of your MicroMasters degree, the equivalent of roughly 5 classes. Then you would begin your fall pre-work between August and December. We set some assignments and expectations that you would meet along the way. You would receive a grade at the end of that pre-work session. And then starting with the IAP January period, it's the 3-week period, or sorry, 4-week period. You would have 5 different required classes. And then there's 2 sort of elective options that you can consider. And those change every year, so we'll see what we offer in the future. And then finally, the spring semester also requires 5 core subjects in financial analysis, writing, data science, and then the study track that I mentioned, where you sort of develop a relationship with companies that we go to visit. And then that ends with the completion of your research project. And in the spring term is when you have the option you'll be required to take at least 2 electives from our list of options. But MIT, we're very flexible, and MIT has so many options available that you can consider additional electives beyond the scope of our program. For example, system dynamics is one of the most popular classes here. We have classes in machine learning, really
sustainability,
sustainability,
transportation, and it's a different kind of approaches.
Yeah, so it's really a great opportunity to experience MIT and sort of develop key areas that you're interested in.
Yeah, in terms of research project, it's a great experience. And actually, our current graduates, they really value this experience. Why? Because this will allow you to put hands-on real experience in solving a real problem from a real setting in order to be able to apply what you have learned in your MicroMaster experience with all the different tools, analytical tools that you have learned, and that you're gonna apply through this particular context for this particular problem, right? I am putting here this example, right? These students that were awarded as the best capstone project, they studied about clustering in transportation. We use spatial analysis and machine learning to reduce CO2 emissions. So they work around last mile topics, environment sustainability. They, of course, part of the core of this research project is always to get access to data and analyze data. So this is some examples here in the slide about the route analysis and the illustration that what they have made in terms of the different routing options. And finally, they apply machine learning to cluster routes using, for example, GPS data from a particular company. In this case, it was a leading retailer in Mexico with having 6 billion revenue, 1,300 retail stores all over Mexico. So the routing is something that is a real complex problem that they need to face. Finally, they came up with 4 clusters of routes when they integrated data, for example, road elevation, road gradients, average vehicle speed, just to reduce the vehicle fuel consumption. Finally, they got 7% in this reduction, which of course implied an important reduction in CO2 emission. This is a good example about the kind of projects that we are expecting. And you can see in the picture, I mean, the final results. So not only they resolved the problem in the company, not only they learned from the applied research, applying the tools that they learned through all the master program, but also they were awarded, which is a great recognition about the value that they were applied into the company and here at MIT. Right, so what is the MIT experience? What do they expect when you will be here? So first, why to choose MIT? So it's important the mission that we are having here, right, to advance knowledge, to educate the students in science and technology. This is what you are going to find when you will, study here the different courses, in order to serve the world in the next century. So we have a different kind of arguments to convince you to come to MIT. But for example, MIT is the world's #1 university following the QS ranking. We have 89 Nobel laureates, different recognitions in terms of National Medal of Science, in technology and innovation. This setting is continuously renovating. For example, there is a huge commitment from MIT for investing $1 billion for the new College of Computing and Artificial Intelligence that, then of course you will enjoy. In terms of the global impact of MIT, so then we can measure what is the value that the alumni has created all over the years. For example, they have launched more than 30,000 active companies. They have employed 4.6 million people. They have generating almost 2 trillion of annual revenue. And just to give you another angle, here at MIT, we have created the 10th largest GDP in the world. So then there are different reasons to demonstrate the value that MIT is creating according to the mission that is there in the slide. And now, after selecting MIT, why choose SCM our blended program? So there are different reasons. So here we have summarized, but of course it depends on your expectations. But here you will have the minimal time away from your work because you have already studied the MicroMaster courses at home, and then you will have this 5 months experience here in our campus at MIT, having the interaction with the different network. Of course, the cost of the tuition is reduced compared to other equivalent master's degree due to this combination as a hybrid innovative model with the MicroMaster. We are very proud of saying that our students are very happy to recommend this program to a friend or to a colleague with this maximum number of 10. And other factors that are of importance for selecting this program according to the experience of our graduates, for example, the academic reputation of the department, right? So then we demonstrate that we are doing good value, good impact in research in the world. Also, the culture of community here at MIT is about collaboration, is about feedback, is about challenging yourself. So then you will not only get this knowledge, but also you will educate yourself in order to see the world in a different manner, right? Different ranges and very rich range of research opportunities here at MIT. And also, yes, as a summary, all our scale programs are ranked #1 in terms of the best master rankings in supply chain logistics, according to the Edu Universal ranking. So I think that these are very good reasons for this selection. But of course, we love our program, but what about our body of students? What do they experience while they are here at MIT in campus, right? So here you can see in the slide different pictures about the kind of activities that we are doing. So for example, here in the Research Expo, Then you will, present your research project in front of a network of experienced executives and also students that are coming from all over skilled centers. Also, we are approaching different problems from different angles with this, yellow hearts there. Also, a lot of opportunities for socializing and creating your network. You will leverage this network after finishing your program with us. And here are some of the quotes that are directly extracted from our students. So then they really value the content at the level of institution like MIT. Of course, they usually, in this kind of programs, the companies that are, the origin of our students, they might sponsor the tuition. So this is a great example about one of our students, our graduates, saying that his boss will be willing to pay out of his pocket, right? Apply orientation, yes,
Yeah.
Robert.
Oh yeah, and I just have to say it's really great to see how how the group was able to bond and create that that really intense group dynamic in just 5 months, and really to see those relationships develop. And we still hear from our students who go on to careers outside of MIT, but they still keep in contact with each other.
This is really great. It's not only the content, but also the network that you are going to activate while you are here for present, but also for the future, right? Also, the students really value real business case and the research applied, right? And especially the culture of collaboration here at MIT, not only within our SCM program, but also with other colleagues that are studying an MBA program, maybe in the Sloan, or maybe another program in more kind of engineering fields. So then you will really connect with all this, and then you will really enjoy all these different experiences. Here we are putting 3 examples. So the first one, Vicky Wing Chan, she's actually working in Google in California. Sorry, in Canada, sorry. Then as supply planning manager. Then she got the job here while she was at MIT. Daniel, for example, Daniel Covert, he has been promoted at Ahold Delhaize. Is a retailer that here, for example, they run Stop and Shop kind of retailer companies. And here he was promoted as director of supply chain R&D. So these are great examples about how these companies value the talent that we are producing here at MIT. Or finally, we love to include also Mahat Kaufman. He was working at Converse. This is the example of a mix of traditional, non-traditional students that are working here with us in the master program, right? In this case, Converse really valued the capstone project, and it was really the setting for that made advance in his career, in his promotion, right? So, and just for example, last week, he was here at MIT as an expert in the MIT roundtable about artificial intelligence and machine learning. Again, is an example of how you, as a graduate of our program, could leverage the network of executives here at MIT after your graduation. So it's something that you could take advantage for the future.
Yeah, and then just to sort of summarize life at MIT, as you can see here, the MIT campus is really very centrally located and an integral part of Cambridge and Boston. So it gives you really the ability to both immerse yourself with the MIT campus, but explore the neighborhoods and areas around us. And really, it's really a great area and a college city that allows students to really flourish here. You can see MIT's sort of innovative experience and sort of quirkiness. We have lots of student activities and clubs that the students really like to go above and beyond in creating that welcoming environment for all of our students here. But it's worth pointing out that MIT isn't just engineering and science and management. We really do have a wide variety of research opportunities and different fields of research. from the humanities to social sciences as well. So really, you'll be able to interact with so many different people from different avenues and walks of life as you proceed through the program here. And then in terms of just the campus facilities, it's really state of the art in terms of what we're able to offer. MIT is always growing and always expanding with new innovative projects. We have our Center for Artificial Intelligence here pictured, but they're also developing new buildings right in our neighborhood. We also have the new nano building. Nanotechnology is an area that we're focusing on now as well. So you'll see just the constant spirit of innovation here at MIT is really what sets us apart, in my mind, from many universities.
You will be close to the city center, so downtown Boston. You will be close to Harvard. Then you have tons of opportunities for making sports, to enjoying also the river. So it's really exciting to be here. And then the experience itself, the life, is quite intensive, but also quite enjoyable.
So yeah, now we will touch upon our career support services. So when applicants are admitted to our program, we like to differentiate sort of the difference between before arriving on campus and after arrival on campus to sort of give a clear picture of what you can expect. So prior to arrival on campus, admitted students can expect support with their resumes and cover letter and inclusion in our resume book that we reach out to companies throughout the fall term. We also like to develop your skills and sort of to allow you to learn what your strengths are. So we do the Clifton Strengths Assessment, so you can really see where your areas of where your best areas are, so that you can really shine in that. And then lastly, we collect your student profiles to submit to recruiters so that they can see the profiles that are available for the incoming class and connect with you once you're here on campus. We do like to point out that applicants who are interested in early job support and access to recruiting or OPT in STEM should consider our 10-month SCM residential program. They start in the fall and have a much more intensive recruiting season. Yeah. Our program, the blended program, is geared towards sort of more independent, focused people looking for career opportunities. But once you do arrive on campus, you will be welcomed with all of the support and services that we have to offer. We continue to have companies visit MIT during the January and spring term, but because you have a shorter window, you do have to be more proactive in sort of generating those leads and sort of elevating yourself with our support as well. We have job postings through MIT's Career Bridge as part of our Career Advising and Professional Development Center, as well as plenty of job opportunities that come through our own platforms as well. All of this is spearheaded by Len Morrison, our Career Development Officer, who's really great in connecting with students and sort of building those connections and helping you present yourself and tell your story, really.
Yeah, in terms of career outcomes, what can you expect? So then we have like two main outcomes. So one is new opportunities working in companies. So this is these are some examples of leading companies that where our graduates got a positions: Lumberger, Amazon, Ahold Delhaize, Google, Stanley Black & Decker, or Ernst & Young, or Maxim Integrated, just to give you an example. So there are other companies, right? And this is the kind of positions that they usually they could get, or you could get if you finally got the graduation with us, right? So then this could come from more consultancy oriented to retail companies, to manufacturing, or to maybe more kind of technology oriented companies, or then different kind of settings that, depending on your interest, then you can directly customize, and then you can directly focus more your attention to those particular contexts, right? And then we will help you here to focus and to engage with some of these companies.
Yeah, and it's worth pointing out these sort of new opportunities are available mostly for U.S. citizens and students with work authorization.
Yeah.
Just keep that in mind as part of the program.
Yeah, due to all these OPT limitation. And the second career outcome is if you are already working in a great company, you are really happy, and during these 5 months you take a leave in order to come here to strengthen your knowledge on supply chain management, to be a global leader, but then you will grow and advance your career. So our graduates are returning to previous jobs, and then they increase in salary. For example, in terms of the last class, then they got a promotion in salary from 30% to 100%, depending on the cases. Promotion to higher roles, more challenging roles. This is also something that our graduates highlight. Responsibilities, leading part of innovation, and also more global reach, because this is part of the experience that you are emulating here at MIT and campus. So you will interact with a lot of different international colleagues that will enhance your global knowledge.
Yeah, and then finally, just touching upon our admissions process and sort of what you can expect from this point on. So in terms of the application requirements, once you complete the MicroMasters and pass your CFX exam, you will then be eligible to apply for our program. A part of the application includes obviously an online application, and within that we require these sections for you to complete. So we will need to see your performance in the online master's degree, or sorry, in the online MicroMasters. Non-native English speakers will also be required to submit IELTS and TOEFL, IELTS or TOEFL scores. A major component of our online application, since we don't require GRE scores, is that you include a research project. This is a 2-page proposal sort of describing a field of research or project that you would be interested in. It is worth pointing out this doesn't necessarily have to come to fruition. It's both an opportunity for you to propose a project that we would consider, but also just as an exercise and an assessment to see your ability to sort of gather that information and put together a solid proposal. But we understand that not all projects will be able to proceed.
And this is an important element of your application,
yeah.
Research project proposal. Yeah.
Then we also have, instead of a written statement, we have a video statement where you'll answer a few questions, and that'll really serve as the introduction to the admissions committee. So it's really best to put your best foot forward in sort of crafting that video statement for us. We require your resume, which includes at least 2 years of work experience, and then 2 strong letters of recommendation from people in your field of study or from your employment. And then finally, an undergraduate transcript. Although we do not consider your GPA and grades as a factor of admission, we do want to see that undergraduate degree. In order to create your application, you will use our GradApply online system. It's very straightforward to navigate with these 12 sections, and then the submission. There's a $75 application fee. And it's also worth mentioning that you would be able to apply to our partner programs in Spain and Malaysia. So the ZLog blended program uses the same application, as well as the MSCMX accelerated program. You can consider applying to all 3. There's no additional fee there. So we'd really encourage you to consider all of the centers that we have available.
Yeah. This is the beauty of the Scale program, right? Yeah, then you can get access to different opportunities in different parts of the world.
Yeah. And then finally, just some application reminders. So many MicroMasters learners are currently studying for and preparing for the February 22nd CFX exam. This year, we've offered 2 admissions rounds. So I know there's a large pool of applicants available from previous CFX rounds. So we have an earlier application date for round 1, February 7th, with decisions by March 14th. And then for those who are still working on the MicroMasters, they had applied during our round 2 deadline. We don't have any sort of caps or limits on either of these rounds, but we would always encourage applicants to apply early to sort of get in the system early and get your decisions as quickly as you can.
Yeah, we want to take your attention that, yeah, if you have not finished your exam yet, then be prepared. I mean, take your exam on February 22nd, try to bring your best grade, and then to apply in our second round on March 28th, right?
Yep, correct. Yeah, so why don't we move on now? If we received some questions from the audience here that we are happy to help
Yeah,
answer.
yeah. I hope that we clarified most part, but please feel free to pose whatever kind of question.
Yeah, so some of the questions that we went over, the selection criteria, sort of what are the key aspects we're looking for? I think.
Yeah, so of course, MicroMaster result is an important criteria for selection, but it's not the first priority. So it's a mix of individual assessment. So what you can really bring into the class, what are your interests, what are your motivations, right? So then it's a mix between your profile, your previous experience, your experience also within MicroMaster, and also your motivation for supply chain management and to be a leader, a global leader around the field.
Yeah. And what sort of scores do you think we would be looking for qualified math applicants?
We don't have a particular threshold. Of course,
Correct,
the
yeah.
higher the better, because this really demonstrates that supply chain management is important for you, and then you are really qualified for joining us here at MIT in January. But we don't have a particular threshold. We encourage you to apply whatever will be your grades. But of course, if you are gonna apply and then you have not taken your CF exam from the MicroMaster, we encourage you to prepare as much as you can, as best as you can, in order to enjoy the learning, to enjoy the experience, and of course to apply afterwards.
Yeah. And if you've completed the MicroMasters but don't have a project in mind yet, what would you suggest?
Yeah, then we are paying a lot of attention in the research proposal about what is the innovative challenge that you would like to face in supply chain management, something that you are really convinced, something that you can explain with your own words in order to also to demonstrate what is your understanding about this particular topic or this particular challenge. Data availability is important. Why? Because our master program, is quite intensive in data analytics, right? So then it's important that you can get access to data in order to be able to analyze this data in order to solve a particular problem of a particular company, right? So then these are the most important elements, I would say. But at the end, in this two-page proposal, it's important that you have a very comprehensive approach about the problem, the data availability, the impact that solving this problem will have in the company or maybe in the industry, and also the methodology that you will be willing to apply. We are not expecting you a super expert in research methodologies. This is a role for the academics, not for you, but we are expected to understand that innovation is important to be applied within this context, right? So bring the challenge, bring the complex problem, and then to analyze from the different tools that you have acquired during the MicroMaster. This could give you very good portfolio of different methodologies that you will be able to apply.
Yeah, and just touching back upon the MicroMasters scores, I know that's a key component that everybody wants to know. What score should I attain? We are looking for scores roughly around the 85% mark. I think those would make real competitive applications, 85 and above, just as a ballpark range. Not that we obviously you've completed the MicroMasters. We would review all applications, but competitive applicants really are looking for those top scores in the upper 80 percentiles and above. Yeah. Yeah, we have questions about financial aid and scholarships. So we do offer merit-based financial support for qualified applicants. So those top achieving MicroMasters applicants, that bodes well for selection through our fellowship process. There's no additional application. You would just check the box within the online application. And we've sort of, you can expect ranges from 5 to 25% towards tuition fellowships. that is what we that's what we hope to offer as many applicants as we can. But like I said, it's really geared towards those top achieving applicants or applicants in need of financial support that need that little extra help in order to come to our program, as we mentioned, to try to get as many non-traditional applicants as we can.
I always recommend to see the tuition, the master tuition, not as a cost for you, but to analyze from the angle of the return of investment, right? What is the value that you are going to obtain after being graduated by MIT in supply chain management? Is an area that is really high demand of professionals and talented professionals from global point of view. So then the return of investment is going to be really high. So then you are going to be able to get access to different kind of opportunities within your company for promotion, but also to other opportunities in your country, in other companies, right? So then again, the return of investment is the best approach to analyze your decision.
Yep. And just some other questions that came up. Is MIT Career Bridge or our career services opened up to all MicroMaster certificate holders? Unfortunately, that's just open to admitted applicants to the program. We aim for a class of roughly 40 qualified blended candidates each year. We hope to receive as many applications as possible. But yeah, our target is 40 applicants, and they would then be able to develop and use our career support and services.
Yeah.
Let's see, maybe this is a question that Maria would hopefully know, is what type of visa application would you need if you're applying for the Zaragoza program? Or is there any additional?
It depends on the country of origin,
okay.
Right? So it will depend where you are coming from. Yeah.
But yeah, it's open up to applicants from all over the world, just like our program is here.
Definitely, absolutely, yeah. So, and also at Zaragoza, there is the opportunity also of getting the blended program as a residential program, the same that we are having here at MIT. Yeah.
Yep. So we have both those offerings available. If you visit our website, you'll be able to see links to both the residential and blended program. And one point worth mentioning as well, as a MicroMasters credential holder, if you're interested in both the blended program and the residential, you're sort of weighing your options, you can consider applying to both of our programs. We would sort of join efforts in aligning our admissions process. Although you would be reviewed separately by our separate committees, we have joined together to provide you with one admissions decision. So you could really weigh which program works best for you. That's sort of a new offering that we're having this year. And in doing so, you would also only have to pay one application fee, since we do have two separate systems. So just one $75 application fee to be considered by both programs. And then is there any age limit for applicants who are applying to the program? No, definitely not.
No, especially the blended program, that we are open and well receiving high experience profiles, and this is what part of the richness of this program, that then the class is very rich in terms of experience, which is really valued by our graduates.
So I think we answered quite a few questions. Obviously, we're always happy to answer questions via email. If you have specific questions about one of our centers, we're always happy to connect you to all of our scale centers across the world to sort of get you that best answer. And anything else?
Thank you very much for your attention. We really appreciated your interest. And please feel free to reach us. And we really hope that to see you very soon by email or in the application, and hopefully next year here with us in January.
Yeah.
Thanks.
As we mentioned on our slide, we look forward to receiving your application.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Bye-bye.